This question comes from Alex, who asks, what if we could breathe underwater? Imagine waking up tomorrow and discovering that the moment you dip your head beneath the surface of a swimming pool, a lake, or the ocean, you can inhale, just like you do on land. No bubbles rising from your nose, no desperate rush back to the surface, just a calm, natural breath, as if the water itself had turned into invisible air. At first, it would feel like magic, like humans had suddenly turned into mermaids or some kind of superheroes. People would flock to rivers and oceans to test this new power, and swimming lessons would instantly become the most popular activity on Earth. Daily life would change in ways we can barely imagine. Commuting could take on a whole new meaning. Instead of sitting in traffic, people living near the coast might dive into the sea and swim along underwater routes, gliding past schools of fish as casually as you pass cars on a highway. Architects would start designing entire neighborhoods beneath the waves, with glass walls looking out into coral gardens and glowing fish drifting by like street lamps. Vacation advertisements would shift too, no longer selling sandy beaches and ocean views, but offering deep-sea packages, where families could spend the weekend exploring the ruins of shipwrecks or dining in restaurants built inside giant, transparent domes on the seafloor. But being able to breathe underwater wouldn't make everything safe. The oceans are not built for human comfort. The shallow coastal waters might feel like a paradise, but the deeper you go, the more the sea reveals its dangers. The pressure grows stronger the farther down you dive, squeezing your body like an invisible hand. Even if your lungs could handle breathing water, your bones and blood might not withstand the crushing weight of the abyss. And then there's the cold. Sunlight can only reach so far into the depths. Beyond a certain point, the sea becomes a freezing, black expanse where strange, glowing creatures drift silently. Breathing there would be possible, but surviving long-term would still be a challenge. Think about the wildlife, too. Right now, the ocean is a mysterious world, explored only with submarines, scuba gear, or robotic drones. But if humans could breathe underwater, suddenly we'd be everywhere. Schools of fish would scatter not from sharks, but from kids playing tag in their territory. Coral reefs would become as crowded as city parks. And sharks, stingrays, and jellyfish wouldn't just be documentary subjects anymore. They'd be neighbors, and sometimes dangerous ones. Every swim in the ocean would carry the risk of an unexpected encounter, and lifeguards might need to be trained in shark defense instead of CPR.
The economic and political landscape of the world would shift as well. Fishing would no longer require boats or nets. Divers could simply walk into the sea and catch dinner with their hands. Countries might claim not just islands and coastlines, but entire underwater territories, setting up colonies beneath the waves. Underwater mining for oil, gas, and rare minerals would skyrocket, because now there would be a workforce capable of staying down there indefinitely. The oceans, already under threat from pollution, would face even more pressure from humanity's endless hunger for resources. Breathing underwater might feel like a gift, but it could easily become a curse for the environment. Still, the possibilities are exciting. Scientists could explore parts of the ocean that have remained hidden for centuries, documenting ecosystems and species that we've never seen before. Archaeologists could wander through sunken cities and shipwrecks, uncovering artifacts lost to the waves. Imagine classrooms holding field trips not to the zoo, but to the Great Barrier Reef, where kids could swim alongside turtles and manta rays while their teachers point out ecosystems in real time. Movies and sports would change too. Forget football or basketball. The new most popular games might be underwater races, obstacle courses built in coral mazes, or even human versus dolphin competitions. Over time, humans themselves might start to evolve. If we were constantly living underwater, our bodies might adapt. Fingers and toes could grow slightly webbed, skin could thicken to handle the cold, and who knows, maybe our eyes would learn to see better in the dark, glowing faintly like the deep-sea fish around us. In a few generations, humanity might not just be a land-dwelling species anymore, but a true amphibious race, just as at home in the sea as on the shore. The legends of mermaids might not be myths at all, but a glimpse into what we could eventually become. Of course, the dream of breathing underwater comes with its shadows. Pollution would no longer remain invisible beneath the waves. People would swim through rivers clogged with plastic bags and oil spills, face to face with the destruction our species has caused. Perhaps the ability to breathe underwater would finally force us to confront what we've been doing to the planet. Maybe only when we taste the water ourselves, not just for a moment, but as our daily reality, would we finally learn to take care of it. So, what if we could breathe underwater? At first, it would feel like a miracle, a superpower that turns every lake and ocean into a playground. It would transform our cities, our jobs, our vacations, and even our evolution. But it would also test our responsibility, forcing us to decide whether we treat the oceans as a new world to respect or just another world to exploit. Breathing underwater would not just change how we live, It would change who we are.